My name's Stace, and I am a Chief Operating Officer for a mental health company, and I've been in Austin for 8 years.
My name is Pat. I'm a Chief Financial Officer at an art company here in Austin. I've been here about 12 years. We got married 2 years ago in Austin.
We have one pet that we have part-time. We have shared custody of a chocolate lab named Augie.
Right about the time we got engaged, we decided that we wanted to find a dream home together, and we were committed to spending 3 to 5 years to get the right place. We made a list of 35 criteria, and including a fireplace, including a family room, including casita, pool, and we really cared about the quality of the materials of the house. Within 6 days, Stace found the dream house, which is this one, and to my chagrin, I came over and looked at it and knew that this was the one.
We had a list of criteria, like Pat said. It kept growing, and we kept finding, as we went around and looked at different open houses, that houses always had like 3 or 4 things that we did not want. And as Pat said, we didn't want to compromise. We were willing to wait a couple years if necessary to find the right home. And things that we looked at was the size of the home, light in the space, large high ceilings, placement on the lot, and a large lot with this lot has mature trees, and we love the way the house is situated on the property, and it just generally made us feel the way we wanted it to feel. And so there was a lot of criteria that went into that, but this one hit all of those.
And we fell in love with just the product that Rivendale was selling in terms of the wood floors, even just the appliances, the doorknobs, the paint colors and the palettes. Like, it just, everything kind of fit with our design aesthetic. And we figured we would kind of work with Rivendale to see if there was something down the pipeline that might make sense for us.
So we came 6 months before it was finished maybe, and it was just sort of a shell, but knew if it was finished properly, and luckily we sort of knew how you guys finished product, that if it was finished to that quality and that design aesthetic, that this was the house. And so we got to see it 6 months before, and actually, put an offer in before it was even completed.
I mean, it was pretty bare bones. There were chain link fences in the backyard. There were trees everywhere. But I think just
no driveway, no front yard.
No pool yet.
No power, no water, no fixtures. I don't even know if the drywall was up yet completely. It was pretty much a shell. But what we could see was the high ceilings and the large fireplace and the way light would come in and the trees, how beautiful everything we knew would look once everything greened up into the spring. So
it was a fun process. It was exciting to see all the pieces come together. I think we had a grand vision for what we wanted it to be, and then, as every sort of new phase unfolded, there were surprises along the way. And Rivendale actually worked with us to make some slight modifications. For instance, the bookshelf right behind you, some of the cabinets by the kitchen, some of the tiles. So we were able to have some input, which really made a difference and helped it feel more like a home that we were able to choose.
Yeah, it was a nice balance between a spec home, but being able to make some customizations that worked for us, so that when we moved in, we didn't have to do a lot of work. We were moved in and just went into designing it and enjoying it and loving it. So we had sort of that stage of when it was under construction. We did the formal meetings where we would come and we would get updates on what was being completed, what was next, what we would expect to see. And then we had our informal drive-bys that you guys weren't here for, where we would poke around and see and be able to sort of on our own time experience it. And Rivendale was great at allowing us to do that and sort of make this place ours even before it was really ours. And I thought that made it really cool.
I mean, having a pool has been pretty nice. The casita's been great. We love our backyard. It's really peaceful. I used a quote in our vows when we got married, but the quote, "A home is not a place, it's a feeling," very much applies to our living situation. And we come home every day. This is our sanctuary. This is the place that we love, and it's just been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, for me, I think it's the lot. On that really long list we had some things that aren't put into new construction a lot, like the pool away from the house, keeping the natural trees. We have 4 very large pecan trees on the property, and keeping those. And the light, when it's in here on certain times of the day, it's just, you pick up all the green and the beauty from outside, and we just could sense that that was going to be that way. And it's all been exactly that as we've been in this space.
We have some rocking chairs outside. It's nice to get morning coffee out there. We love the fireplace. I mean, even just the front door in terms of the entrance, it's really beautiful and welcoming. Like the Rivendale really thought through how to, I guess it's called the feng shui of sort of the...
Well, and the curb appeal, just like we hear a lot from our neighbors and people who visit the house, just the way they feel a certain way when they come to the house because of the way it was laid out. And it usually is really good vibes when visitors come to visit, just from the way they're greeted by the house before they even get greeted by us. For me, I think it was just putting all of our stuff in it. And, and that's when the rubber hits the road. What you thought was going to happen versus what you thought it would look like, and what it actually played out to be. And that was about a 2-month experiment of placing our furniture and moving around and really sort of discovering the way things worked in the house and the way the light hit things and setting it up to make it our home. And to me, that was the best part. Sort of the dreaming part was at the beginning, and then really making it a reality when we moved in was my favorite part.
I mean, we had already basically almost closed, and so we didn't really fear that there was going to be anyone that would come in from the side and get the house taken away from us. But once Rivendale staged the house, and I think you used 2 different staging companies. So the first one I think that you did, we saw it, and it was gorgeous, just beautiful. And that was when I realized, like, this is absolutely the house that I want. And we better get this closing done ASAP. So that was the aha moment.
The entire team would respond, usually within 20 minutes, usually within an hour. They had a plan or a solution for something, and I think that was really important. This is a big investment for us, and so we took it really personal when something wasn't working or wasn't exactly the way we expected it to be or function the way we thought it would. And they were really good about that, and really good about explaining what they could and couldn't do. There were some things that ended up being larger than we expected, and they walked us through that process to make sure that they got it right. They took the time and the energy and the investment to redo things, and there wasn't a lot, but a couple things, they could have just patched it and said, no, let's redo it so that this is exactly the way it was supposed to have been when you moved in. And that was really important. That made us feel a lot more confident about the purchase and the investment that we made. People come in and they're like, wow, who built this? Did you have this custom built? Was this, did you work with an architect? We're like, no, we actually bought a spec home. And people are sort of shocked that something this beautiful was created sort of from a spec and a generic design, if you will. I'm just really grateful for the support that everybody provided at Rivendale, and I bothered them a lot with a lot of questions and a lot of warranty issues, and not once did I feel like, did they make me feel like I was bothering them or bugging them. Everybody was really responsive and understanding and really cared that we were happy at the end. I can't count the number of times people said, well, what does it need to look like or be like for you to be happy? And I would tell them, and it was usually very picky and demanding, and they met all of that. And nobody made me feel bad for asking.
Yeah, professional and knowledgeable. We really appreciated the experience. We were working with experts. They had a sense for what we wanted, and we had a sense for what we wanted, so it worked out really well.